Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's Janelle Stewart at parentsmakinganinvestment.com. And today I want to share with you another way that we can invest in our children by using wordplay. And what I mean by wordplay is just pretty much a fancy way of saying how we use our words to get our children to listen to us and to actually follow out what we're saying and what we want them to do, and also for them to see that what we're saying is valid, it's right, but sometimes the way that we use our words can, alter whether or not they see that what we're saying has value and it's important. And what I'm saying is, for a child that's 2 years old, they might not really be able to differentiate that. But at a child that might be in school age, teenage, junior high, and they at the place start recognizing that we're not really heroes. See, when they're younger, we think that they think that we are like their superhero. As they get older, they realize that we do make mistakes too. And so therefore, they know that we can be wrong. And then even as we're open and honest with our children and we talk to them and share with them that, we make mistakes too, and mommy and daddy, grandma, whoever supporting adult you are, can be wrong at times. And we admit those areas and those places that we get into in our lives to them. They know that. But at the same time, we want to be able to talk so they will listen. And so I'm going to share this story with you. So my child, what we find is that wordplay is so important for our children. One example being, she doesn't like for us to use the word wrong. And I'm not saying for you to say the word wrong, but if she is wrong, it's just pretty much conveying, and it's not to cover up the fact that she's not right, but sometimes it's just the wordplay and how you approach the situation, so then your child can receive what you're trying to say, and then also receive the information, receive the message that you're trying to get across to them, and also correct them. And so with that being said, the situation is with her is that she doesn't like to hear the word wrong. Like how if she is wrong, saying to her, well, that's wrong. That's wrong the way you did this. That's wrong. But when you flat out just say that's wrong to her, I don't know, but for some reason, she just shuts down. She shuts down mentally and she shuts down emotionally. And you don't see a lot of the shutting down, displayed outwardly. You don't see it, but as a parent, your children. And so I find that I observe her body language and realize that she's shut down. So at this point, a lot of the things I'm going to say to her and what I am going to say and the message that I want to get across to her, she's not even hearing anymore because she's shut down. So as far as how wordplay go is trying to use different words to pretty much tell your child that they're wrong without saying the word wrong. And yes, we do. We just have to find different vocabulary words, and it's not to candy coat. Don't miss what I'm saying, parents. It's not to candy coat and try to butter your kids up or what have you, let them feel better. No, what I'm saying is that, and it's just like us as parents too. We know that there are times that we receive information in certain ways. And so if someone says something to you, whether they shout or whether they use an angry tone, and you can draw back from even when you were a child, that at some point when you don't like for someone to shout at you or to snap at you and to be straightforward and blunt with you, then sometimes we shut that off. We close it off right away. It could be from our past, our childhood. It could be from our past experiences. And so it reminds us too much of those experiences. So we shut down and we shut it off and we don't receive what they're saying. And what they're saying might be valid. And so we want to also be mindful of that when we approach our children with the words that we use, because what we are saying is valid. And we want to help them and steer them and guide them. And so sometimes we do have to change the words that we use. And even just saying, hey, how about you look at it this way? Do you think that if you put this over here, what would the outcome be? How about you try this? What about this? How does this sound? And I'm giving you just pretty much sentences that you can start off, starter sentences, to help you find a way to convey the message to your child instead of saying, no, that's wrong. But say, well, think of it this way. What do you think? Let's figure it out. Let's try to figure it out and see what happened here and how you came up with that answer, and backtrack with them. Whether it's a homework assignment, whether it's them doing something around the house and you know that they're wrong, whether it's something, it could be a conversation that they have with a classmate, with a friend that they feel so strongly about, and their friend is saying, you know, that they're wrong and they don't feel that they're wrong in the situation. It could be a conflict that they come to you with and they need your guidance in resolving it. So sometimes even to your teenage children, saying to them, well, you were wrong for saying that. You were wrong for saying this. Even say, what about, your approach? Think about trying to, can it be the way you approached? Can it be your approach that caused this person to respond this way? Because sometimes it's all about the approach. And I'm giving you that example as far as how to even start a conversation with your teenage. So those are the examples as far as wordplay that you can always just interject without actually saying you're wrong. Give them an opportunity to think. To think the process over, to think the problem over, to think the situation over, to think the conversation over or even to think the confrontation over. And even for us, sometimes that's what we need. We need to sit back and think, how could I have handled this differently? What could I have said? And what did I say that caused a person to respond that way? And it's the same thing when it comes to our children. And so this is why wordplay is so important, because we want our children to speak, but we want to be able to listen so that they will speak. And the flip side of that is we want to be able to speak so they will listen. And so sometimes it's about the words that we choose, how we approach it, so that we're not going like this. And that's pretty much pointing a finger. You're wrong. You did this wrong. But hey, what do you think? So that is my thought for today. And that also, parents, that's also a way of investing in your children today. Words. Words are very important, impactful, and they remember. Our bond with our children too. And they remember these things. They remember how we said something, what we said, and how we say it. And so today we want to work on to speak so they will listen. And then also for us also to listen with our heart, so they will be able to hear what we have to say. Hopefully that helps you today. And if you haven't already, subscribe. And you can follow me on Instagram as well, and YouTube, Janelle Stewart. And also like and share this video. And I look forward to sharing this journey of parenting with you as we continue to invest in our children together.